would have an answer to how Vamos is playing.
Oh, I mean, and Coach Arcadia's response to it is, blue side, ban out Valentina, ban Eve, ban Cho. Vamos, their response, ban out the Fanny, ban out Jushin, and as well as Chip, first pick going over to SRG. Thoughts on this, Jay, so far?
Yeah, first time, at least Suyo is open, right? So question is SRG gonna snap pick that away or allow Chibi? Chibi has been really nutty on these assassins, especially when you give him something like a small little snowball. That's what happened in game number 2, Gideon.
I mean, that's fair. I think that taking Suyo here isn't too bad for the side of SRG, although, considering that Vamos was willing to kind of go out of the box with the Valentina, I feel like SRG, they kind of, have that structure. They like to keep in their own lane.
Now, of course, in the previous game, I was considering about that B1 Gatokacha, and as an EXP laner, I see the value of Gatokacha. But at this point in time, what's the caveat for a team in either side to actually pick up a Gatokacha?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do is if you have the high loss or not. And I think that Vamos at this point of time, now that the RWM is not in play, there's no real way to kind of trap your opponent in a area. So they're going to be locking in the high loss first. I am curious. It'd be really weird to see the Gato get picked up here. I would expect to see a jungler. Maybe Nolan doesn't seem too bad of an idea.
I think Nolan's great here, but I think the other pick side that's really wide open. For example, maybe shift a little bit more priority over to the gold laner is something that, for the side of Vamos is looking out for. Instead, they're going to handshake that one. Alpha will be selected by the side of Vamos.
Now, here's what I'm hoping. If they go for the Alpha, I'm hoping that SRG takes away the Matilda pick. I think they need some means to kind of pull away, make sure that if Alpha is going in and he's too deep in, he ain't getting out of there.
I mean, Alpha is a very commodal hero, right? And especially pairing it up with a high loss on top of that, it pretty much says that, yeah, we're going to go ham, we're going to go in all the way through. And that is quite exactly how Vamos has been playing. If you do have an insurance policy to yoink people back out, that is quite literally a Matilda thing. So if SRG were to pick a Matilda in here that will qualify for the roam position, we still have quite a bit. Oh, Lo Yi.
I love this Lo Yi.
That's what I wanted to ask. What's the mage that they would want to bring in?
Yeah, I think right now, without any real, honestly, nothing really malleable to bite on for the side of Vamos, I think Lo Yi is a pretty safe pick overall. In terms of bad matchups for Lo Yi, especially when you have an Edith as your flex pick finally, because you don't have to worry about Valentina, I think this works well. If Lo Yi has a bad matchup in the mid lane, it's so what? Send in the Edith, clear up the lane, you're as good as new.
Yeah, and apart from that, Edith also add on a lot more damage, and it's also something like can counter all the engages, because it seems like Vamos, looking at the playstyle in game number 2, they really want to run right into your face. The high loss and Alpha is doing exactly that. You need something to counteract. You need to provide that wall. Well, apart from a Grok wall, the Lo Yi works perfectly into what SRG is going for.
The Lo Yi definitely do want to punish both high losses as well as Alpha just running in together, right? So coming in from the sidelines, just trying to look for an extra way to go in is definitely gonna be huge. And a Faramis pick, I don't think that we have seen a Faramis in the playoffs just yet, right?
No, we have not, but this is Warlord's signature. He is deadly on this Faramis. He has made too many clutch saves that I can't, I mean, if I was in a hostage situation and Warlord is my negotiator, I know for a fact I'm getting out of there alive. He can save lives, and I think that the second ban phase has now just shot up in insanity. We need to see big AOEs getting taken out. I'm expecting maybe even the Tigreal to be thrown away, maybe even Beatrix if we're targeting the gold lane. There we go. That's the Tigreal.
Yeah, definitely Beatrix is something that, Vamos should take away, right? We talk about the AoE. So SRG seems like there's a lot of AoE potential. Apart from the Lo Yi, there's also the Edith in terms of the splash damage and the shred. But how is that mid lane matchup going to be like? Especially, lane matchup is definitely going to be slightly equal in terms of the wave clear. But when we go into these massive 5v5s, that Lo Yi, that passive is going to just wreak havoc on top of what, the Faramis wants to do with the Cow Altar.
Well, I mean, that's why Faramis is not going to be the first person there, right? It's High Lawson as well as Alpha, who's going to try and, rock Lo Yi, make sure that Stormy is caught off a position. I mean, we saw it happen a couple of times, but then it was Nolan, now it's Alpha. Coming into the second ban phase, SRG, their next ban followed up is going to be the Phobius, which honestly I was pretty surprised that it got through this far.
Yeah, Phobius was really a prize pick back in MPL Singapore, right, before everything happened. And right now, the fact that, looking at what Vamos has selected, there's not a lot of dashes except for, what the Alpha wants to do. The high loss Glorious Pathway, you're expecting people from the side of Vamos to just run straight straight at you and just do something at you, right? So Phobia's ban is something pretty interesting coming out from SRG in my opinion. Maybe he wants to secure a better lane for Cram.
Honestly, the surprise factor coming in from Vamos should come in from the EXP later, right? You can't possibly just run right into Loi and deal with him head on using a Alpha, hoping to actually land the spear of Alpha. The EXP, I would strongly believe that the Hylos would be the one going over to Rome, despite the fact that it's very flexible. I really do want to see more of a hero such as a Khalid in the EXP lane, just so that they will be able to realistically work onto Loi. Either number one, force a flicker from the side of Loi, or perhaps even force a Purify on the Loi. We need a direct threat on the Loi to make sure that she is not the main reason why Vamos can't just move forward.
Alright, then I would expect that this would be the Khalid ban. No, Matilda ban instead. Good stuff coming in from SRG, but now I have to agree with Abstract. I think Khalid is a really dangerous pick. I don't think there's a lot of like bad matchups at this point for Khalid now that the Phobius is gone. But Jace, are you along with that thought?
Yeah, definitely along, right? In terms of the Claude, in terms of the Khalid, you know, just Raging Sandstorm right into, we talk about a lot of AoEs. In fact, Vamos has shown that they're really afraid of the AoEs. Claude comes in with the AoE as well with the Blazing Duet. However, I'm also thinking slightly differently for the side of SRG. If a random Moskov appears from the side of SRG, that could be quite interesting.
Ooh. Ooh, actually? No, that doesn't sound too bad. Yeah, I think that Moskov is totally fine in this area. I do wish that SRG would have like a better way to kind of set up for the Beatrix, but I'm not seeing it so far. The Tigreal and as well as the Cho are already gone. Those are the big setters, unless you're thinking like Kufra for an example. But then you're only really just blocking like BMI and as well as Spirit of Alpha. So there's the Khalid, smartly enough taken by Coach Arcadia. Thank goodness it wasn't just left out to dry. But this final pick to finish off the composition, Moskov, nicely done. Called it here on the second phase of the draft.
So now that the Khalid, which I really wanted to see from the side of Vamos, has been taken by SRG, what is one thing that we want to see that goes against Khalid? One thing that works like a Khalid is definitely Tarizla, but he's definitely slower than a Khalid, that's one thing. Do we want to look at somewhat of a lane bully against Khalid like a Clue in this instance? Okay, there we go.
There you go.
Well done.
Drafts here, man.
Good stuff, good stuff. It looks like you guys have caught on to the Malaysian flavor here for both Vamos and as well as SRG, but break it down for us, Jace. What do you think about these comps? What do you think are the odds?
Vamos like to really find these 5v5 match clashes. Same can be said about SRG. They can also do the same, but the fact is SRG has a lot more options. Khalid can split push, and Moskov can also split push as well. So that's something Vamos has to look out for.
All right, with that being said, casters, take it away.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Game number 3 coming up. SRG and Vamos tie. This is kind of where we are at right now, right? A repeat of last season's grand finals. Again, same organization, well, different organization, same team, and we're at a standstill once more. We'll see if Vamos can continue this performance like a freight train they are as we head into the land of dawn. We will see Vamos on the red side, SRG on blue.
The score is currently 1-1, ladies and gentlemen, as our defending champions face off against their would-be usurpers here in the land of dawn. The drafts are game number 3, looking quite interesting, but only one can come out on top.
Gonna be parallel jungling again, but actually, yeah, Sakai's starting with the orange, GB with the purple. So kind of a shift in identity, right? The Alpha goes over to the side of Vamos. Sakai gets the infamous Suyo. But I want to quickly zone in on that gold lane because Innocent has not played Moskov this playout, but Nets has. And so far, Nets has been amazing on that hero.
Yeah, the Moskov has not been seeing quite as much play, even though it was a pretty popular gold lane pick initially, precisely because we harken back to the WhatsApp text we had with Yumes. SRG realizes that pickoff comps are not quite as good as before. Moskov fits a little bit better into those lineups specifically, so they went for more scaling types that are good at team fighting, like the Nathan, like the Harif. In this case, though, a lot of those options were taken away, and even his favorite Claude was stolen from him by Team Vamos. Personally, I really like the way that Vamos has drafted this time. There's a lot of respect being given over to SRG, and their team fight potential and utility is on another level entirely. But SRG has a lot of early game damage potential. Their goal is to end fights as fast as possible.
I can agree with that for sure. Cram has the lane priority. I mean, he is Khalid anyways. But I'm thinking from level 4 onwards, right? When that NetherRealm comes online, when the Glorious Pathway is available, how is SRG gonna fight into Vamos? Or they just wanna isolate key targets?
Well, something that Jay's brought up earlier is SRG has some macro potential with this Moskov and Loyi. Split push is possible, and if they're able to drag Vamos into different parts of the map, it means that they'll get less value from the Glorious Pathway and the Nether Realm. Vamos, they've so far been very good at responding macro-wise, so if SRG wants to do that, it's gonna take some creativity.
This is always the appetizer of every single game. First turtle fight, whoever wins this usually gets that innate advantage that they can accelerate and get out of control very quickly. But it's Vamos with control right now. Smooth has the split coming from behind, and look at Sukai, right? Completely zoned out. They need to find a way in, and Yums will start it off. The occasion initiated by SRG NetherRealm as a response from Warlord. Revitalized, first blood for Crab. Yums flicker to safety. Sukai will keep on going. It's gonna be 2-for-1 so far in favor of SRG, but Vamos can continue this. It's going to be an attempt to save. Crab could not get out. Stormy fails to escort him to safety, but in the end, it's SRG coming out with 3.
Kind of awkward there, because Cram actually flickered too far, and Smooth almost pulled him back into the diversion, but the timing just so happened to work out, and Cram still survived. SRG, they were able to burst down the extra HP from the NetherRealm quick enough to actually take control of that fight, since Vamos doesn't quite have enough items yet to really take advantage of their team fight composition. That's gonna give them a bit of a lead early on, but they need to hold on to this, or Team Vamos will scale up to become quite scary mid-game.
Good news is that Innocent is winning lane in terms of XP. Definitely put some pressure on Ness and even forced out the sprint. So another 40 seconds without that ability. I mean, talk about that early game damage. We saw that in the first turtle fight. Vamos, they need to help out Ness a little bit, right? Alleviate pressure, but Ness is just not getting the space. And the invasion of the jungle causes Chibi's second death.
That's the diversion for you. This Loyi has caught so many people off guard so often. And when you have two teams on the level of SRG and Vamos playing head-to-head here, they know jungle timings. Chibi and Skies, even if you don't see them, you basically have an idea of where they're going to be. And that means that Stormy's positioning has to be kept track of.
And Ness will have to commit the Blazing Duets, or to thin out the wave and prevent SRG from shaving off the gold plating. Go back to a standstill a bit. SRG holding a near 2k gold advantage at this point, but is it fair to say that priority on the map so far is on the Red Giant side?
Definitely. Right now, with the diversion being played around and them holding pretty well in the mid and gold lane, Team Vamos will have a bit more difficulty identifying areas that they can try to puncture.
Try to put a hole in Smooth, but he is glue, so he's gonna stick himself back for sure. Yums gets gone on, but has a way to disengage. It's all about prepping for the second turtle fight. Diversion right on top of Warlord. Just spotted the timing. Zorn will have the pop that revitalize, turns around the Glorious Pathway to get Chibi in. Good disengage from SRG and a re-engage, but unfortunately they lose Stormy. SOD connects, Innocent shows up, gets the pin on the Zorn, and SRG, they are the ones who start the fight, and they are the ones who end it. Fortunately for Vamos, they can't keep on going.
That was initially not so good for SRG because the diversion placement was not so good. They found the person they wanted least, which was Zorn. And the Glorious Pathway placement was great. However, SRG, they really know how to balance their cooldowns. They know how to rotate in and out of the team fight. And Innocent joining in was just a nail in the coffin. They have the DPS.
And unfortunately, they lose Warlord at the cost of Yums. Talk about a worthy trade. Glorious Pathway, Zorn wants to go on forward with Smooth coming back, but Stormy is about to take a grab right out of there. You ain't catching this magician.
Very well played. Again, SRG, they're identifying what cost them game number 2 and are adjusting to deal with it. I really love what I'm seeing right now. There is evolution in thought processes during the game by the Selangor Red Giants and growth in terms of drafting from Team Vamos. Unfortunately, the latter a little bit behind right now, but not by that much. 2K is still workable at the 6-minute mark. They just gotta make sure that this goal lead doesn't expand too much further.
You're a numbers guy, right? How much does Retribution do at, let's say, level 9?
I mean, I don't think I'm that good.
But I can tell you that the Tap Soul Sever plus Quell the Evil deals almost 1.6k damage. Because that guy took the turtle without any retribution. And we saw that combo come right out, right? No buffer needed.
There's a reason why many people consider Suyo to just be unbeatable in retribution battles. The percentage damage is too much.
Ness gets pinned. It's going to be believed the way Yums actually misses the onwards, and Chibi brings him down to the turret. As a means to disengage, Glorious Pathway gets light down, but Chibi needs the help of multiple ultimates. Even the Nether Realm is committed. And Vamos is all about surviving, and for now, they do.
Now, throughout this playoffs, I have personally been complaining about the lack of Edith we've been seeing. And Smooth putting it, Yums putting it on display here is really demonstrating why I've been so frustrated. This hero has so much utility, so much potential, and the damage coming out from Primal Wrath is just contributing even more to SRG's overall DPS. Team Vamos, they're facing a similar issue to what SRG was encountering in Game 1. They're not actually surviving the damage despite their sustain.
Yeah, it's pretty surprising, right? Oh, here comes the gang. Where's Chibi? Separate Chibi. Who is Chibi? Where is Chibi? How is Chibi? The answer is he's dead. Smooth with the split spin trying to get away, but they're gonna chase him down. Smooth gets out with his life, but third turtle on the board.
Everyone always asking where is Chibi. No one asking how is Chibi, because he can't be feeling too good right now. His rotations are being identified every single time. Information is being passed through the grapevine so efficiently, so quickly. The moment that Yums saw Chibi walk to the right side of the map, Stormy is right on the ball with the rest of the Slangor Red Giants, and the timing is perfect as well to claim the first Lord for free.
We saw Turtle, they waited for it to transform into the Lord, right? Let the Turtle go back to where it belongs. Talk about the Holy Trinity. I think yesterday on the panel, Yi, Loyi, Jushin. When only Loyi is left, SRG, they hit the jackpot. Damage dealt ranking. So guys, in the lead, followed by Cram and Stormy.
Skies has done 10,000 more damage than the second place member, which is Cram. If that doesn't tell you that Suyo may be just a little bit overtuned, I don't know what will. There's so much potential coming out from this hero, and while I personally felt like Skies wasn't the best with it initially, he sure feels like it now.
They do send Yums into Fine Zorn. It's all about controlling the map. Smooth getting sucked back by the yin-yang reaction. Innocent on tier 2, but Cram, he actually wants more. He actually has the damage to do so. Stuck guys comes in, gets stunned out by Law and Order. Glorious Pathway committed. It's a means of turret. SRG finds another pick. And now they'll have a chance to crack more structures.
We talked about the importance of early game momentum in this meta, and we're really getting to see it in this series. The game is basically being decided by whoever controls those first few minutes, and in this case, it is the Slangor Red Giants. 9.5 minutes, they're already pushing in the inhibitor.
And the yin-yang reaction is a bad omen for Team Vamos. They go for a re-engage, but finds nothing. Smooth splits into Goblins, but SRG, they like those odds. More Goblins, more damage, more screen time. SRG finds 4. Vamos comes in, Glorious Pathway. Warlock gets jumped on. Jordan gets stuck back in. No more red around. Only a 7th soul. Slangor Red Giants takes the lead and takes game number 3.
Oh my goodness.